Hello everyone. Happy Pride everybody. So here's the thing. I am not having a good mental health weekend. And I normally do my filming on the weekends, I normally do a lot of my editing over the weekends, and this weekend in particular, it's not coming together. So rather than lose all that time and not put a video up, I decided to talk about what is giving me so much trouble right now and actually share that with you. So on Friday I had a very difficult session that had been being worked up towards for about 3 weeks prior to that. And I knew that it was going to be really challenging for my PTSD. I was very likely going to be triggered by it. I was very likely going to have a panic attack. I was very likely going to go into rage mode. And I know that I come off as a very passive, calm, but excitable person, but there's this whole other aspect of my identity that feels totally external to me that sort of takes over in those moments when I am triggered, where I don't feel in control of myself, and this is a struggle. This is an ongoing battle. It's me versus me, and I never win. It sounds like I'm making excuses, but I mean, that's just the way that it works. You know, I have a defense mechanism that's aggressive. It tries to overpower whatever is perceived as the threat. And I've been working up to this session for 3 weeks. And the crazy part is, I got through it no problem. I'm actually still really proud of how I did. I did really, really, really well. Got through a lot, made a lot of progress. It was all that I had hoped it would be in that session. And now, afterwards, from that moment forward, I have had trouble sleeping. I have had anxiety attacks throughout the day. I am exhausted. And I'm falling back into a lot of irrational paranoia. I have another session coming up this week, and I am terrified about how it's going to go. I am worried that basically my therapist is going to be like, oh my god, you're so messed up, don't even bother coming back, you need to find somebody who actually can help you because you're beyond me. And all of these just totally irrational things that are based on zero facts. There's no supporting evidence of this. And it's just there in the back of my head, this is gonna go badly, and you're gonna have all these panic attacks, and you're never gonna sleep again, and it's gonna be awful, you're coming up on a bad phase, and you don't wanna go back there. And I get it. I totally understand that this is irrational, but this is my brain's way of preparing me for the worst, which is so the pattern that I follow, and it's annoying, but it is functional. Because leading up to my last session, I had to brace myself for the worst possible way that it could go, and then anything that wasn't that was good. And that's fine, except when you walk into something expecting a conflict, and then you walk out of it not having had that conflict, that energy still has to go somewhere. And in my case, since there's no real place to put it, it's gonna come out in the form of anxiety. And it really sucks, because I'm just losing so much time. I had plans for things that I wanted to do today that I've had to now cancel, because basically I'm sick. I don't have the energy after fighting with myself to go out and do things in a way that I'm going to actually enjoy. I don't have the energy to even do something like finish watching the X-Files so I can put up that video. I don't have the energy to wash my laundry. It sucks. It just drains you so much, and everything takes twice as long. You know, so I had to cancel all of my plans and just recalculate and figure out which things are important to me and work out a schedule that works for me and just keep going. But that takes energy too, and you reach a point where you're just like, man, I don't want to do any of this. And to give details, because sometimes those are interesting, the particular kind of anxiety that I've been experiencing this weekend is very much in that you're shaking all the time kind of anxiety, where it's strange because it feels very disconnected from how I'm feeling emotionally. I don't feel afraid of anything, I don't feel depressed, I don't feel not doing things, but my hand is shaking and I'm going, maybe I shouldn't drive a car right now. you know, maybe I shouldn't go out to a movie for 3 hours and try to enjoy it when all I'll be thinking about the whole time is, when can I go to sleep? And it sucks having another setback. When on Friday, I felt great. I felt really proud of the fact that I got through that really hard session and everything went really well and I was on top of the world, and then as I was coming down from that and feeling relieved, that's when my body goes, ah! But that is so the pattern that my anxiety takes. That is so the pattern that my PTSD takes. It is just, this is what happens to me. I work up to something really hard, do really well at it, and then once I am through the hard part, that's when my body goes, oh, it's safe to release all this energy? Where do I put it? I know, I'll make your hands shake and you not able to sleep for a few days. That sounds perfect, right? It just sucks. Feeling like when you're safe, that's when your body chooses to release the anxiety. Because it's so opposite of how I want to feel right now. I want to feel the way I should be feeling, in my opinion, which is that I did really well, I should feel proud, I should feel relieved, I should feel happy, and instead I'm feeling exhausted and drained and just totally dead. And as I mentioned, like, nervous about my next session, which is stupid, because the one that I had been building up to for 3 weeks that went great, that was the one I was scared of. This one isn't even the one I'm necessarily scared of. It's just the follow-up, and that should be easier. And for some reason in my head it's just like, oh, this is gonna be really bad, this isn't gonna go well, all these negative thoughts. And it's like, where is this even coming from? This is totally irrational, and I can't dismiss it. There's no dismiss button for anxiety. There's no dismiss button for that kind of, concern. And it's like, if my brain's goal is to keep me safe at all times, then I really feel that I should have some input into that equation. Like, I really feel that there should be some parameter I could tweak where I'm like, okay, this is fine. Everything is fine. You can stop yelling at me to be worried. The problem is that when it is an irrational thought, you can't reason your way out of it. I could sit there and say to myself all day, this is irrational, and you know this is irrational, and you don't need to feel this way, and it will just never touch that feeling. Because it's not born out of a place of rationality. You can't corral it back in there with rationality. I have found that for me, the only thing that actually works is just taking the time to take care of myself physically and emotionally and just ride it out. I'm gonna lose some sleep, that's fine, I'll sleep again. It's alright. Because anything I do to try to fight it is not going to work and might even actually make it worse. So there's just no point. I'm gonna lose time making a video this week. I'm gonna have to delay a video that I'm very excited about, but that's just it. It's gonna go out. It's just gonna go out a week later. The only person I'm really disappointing here is myself. And in many ways that hurts more because I'm only beholden to my own standards with this, but like, they're my standards, they're my goals. They were attainable when I set them up, and something that feels external to me is preventing me from being able to execute them. I don't really have much of a point to this video. I just wanted to have an honest conversation with myself and with you about how much this sucks and how out of control I feel about this at times, and yeah. And the thing is, I fully recognize that any person who felt out of control of themselves is going to be upset by that. That is a normal, rational, reasonable, emotionally responsible way to feel about feeling out of control of yourself in those situations. But for some reason, I hate myself for that because it feels like I should be able to overpower myself. If I'm the one that's keeping me from doing something, I should also be the one that has the power to undo that. And I think that frustration is feeding into the anxiety. I know that it's not productive to feel that way, but it is natural. So I guess that's it. Thank you all for stopping by and listening to me rant about this. I do hope that anyone else who's feeling this sort of way out there, this might have helped. I know that that's not a realistic expectation, but hey, if something good comes out of it, that's great. I will be back again next week with another video, hopefully with more substantial content to it than this one. And, that's just it. I have so many fun ideas lined up for this channel. I have so many things I want to do, and having to delay them even a week because of not being able to handle something that I actually did handle is just so frustrating. I will be back again next week, come hell or high water, with some sort of video, even if it's just me saying, yeah, sorry, not putting up a video this week. I will put up a video this week. It will be something. I don't care. This is that important to me. I am gonna make it happen. And I hope that you'll join me then. And in the meantime, stay curious.